Okay, I'm doing just a short presentation, an introduction to now our work, starting from our approach using GIS, Geographical Information System. Our approach to the historical sites put together different sources. Our sources mainly are this one. We use Google Earth for sure. Also, Google Earth history, Google Earth gives you the opportunity to go back and see past images in different years. We use multispectral images with Luigi and Professor De Guglio will talk about this. We use mainly aerial photographs and layouts made by Baradez in 49 and the 50s. We use online GIS shapefiles and aerial photos made in the 70s. And all this is put together in GIS. And of course, the last piece is on the ground, okay? On-site GPS tracking, ground truth, to check what we think we can find. Okay, this is, of course, an important part. So, just to give you a very quick introduction, what you see here these are the two very large maps that you find at the end of the Baradez book. The one that you open and are big, like format A1, A2, I don't remember. They are georeferenced in our system. This is our basis. I'm zooming in to the area of Biskra. Is this one? This is the Biskra Basin. Okay. This is the LiMeS, recognized by Baradez in red. The area of Gemelle is here. This is the part Professor Paola Zanovello talked before. And this is the area you see my pointer? Yes. This is the area of Fort Parallélogramme, and Biskra is right in the middle. I'm zooming in. So you see Biskra, you see the LiMeS here, and the LiMeS here with Gemelle. Okay. Fort Parallélogramme, Biskra, Dabudeos, and Gemelle. Again, so if we at the very beginning of our work, we took some time to georeference all the pictures we found in the Baradez book, and I'm showing you only the one near the area of Biskra, because Baradez made quite a wide range research, and they all fall back in this position. And this is interesting because Baradez in his book says that a lot of photos and data is present in this part, because if already found some material, because there was a aerial survey by the military, I think, to assess the area for the future Fontana Gazelle dam and so on. So this is the reason there are so much quantity of pictures in the area, because we will see that now there is a lake here. Okay, so it started as a infrastructure survey for the dam, and then he completed and went on the ground and so on and wrote the book. And okay, these are zooming in. These are the Baradez aerial photos of the area, with the overlays, the interpretative overlays made by Baradez. He was using a kind of GIS in the 49, handmade. If I take the overlays, I can precisely trace the LiMeS, intended as a fossatum, in this area, and this is the purple line. Fort Parallélogramme is in this area. Now I will zoom in again. I am overlaying the LiMeS deducted by Baradez overlays to our acquisition of a multispectral satellite image, high resolution. Zooming in, you see the lake with the dam. If I zoom to a very small scale, I can see that with the help of my interpretation, I can now see exactly where the LiMeS is going. You see a lot of traces here, but with my This interpolation of data from Baradez and the multispectral satellite, I can precisely see where the LiMeS is supposed to be, because from the 49 to now, the wind, the weathering has leveled down all the slopes and the morphology. But some traces you can, if you know that it's going here, now you see maybe better where it should be. And this was the start of our work before going to the ground. Even in the first season, we had a very precise idea, precise meaning 10 meters, 20 meters, okay, where to go, okay. The two examples, the first example is the case of the vanishing tower, because we went to, in this area here, there is a specific part where Baradez identified 5 or 6 towers, observation towers, very small, okay. And we went to a trip to try to identify all of them. In particular, one very large tower, which seemed to be the largest of the ones. And this was made this last year in March. So, this is the part specific area. Fort Parallélogramme is here. We are going here. And this is our, you see the layout of Baradez, the tours, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 towers in this area. This is our ground tracking made not this year but the years before. This year we went to look specifically for this tower. This, I put it together in this image our multispectral data. This is the area here. The Baradez layout made transparent with the LiMeS enhanced in purple. And also Google Earth data. The area with the 6 tours is here. Zooming in. This is our ground tracking, while we went around trying to identify the traces. You see a lot of going around in this area because we could not find the tower. Okay. Yes. You are spoiling the end. Okay. Okay. The other tower were identified more or less. They are. You can more or less see the place. So, because I used this particular picture from Google Earth, the one below, is overlaid with Baradez. You see that Baradez data is quite precisely aligned with the satellite picture of this tower here. Okay, but we could not find. So what happened? This is the image of satellite 2015. Ruins of the tower are quite visible. If I'm going forward 3 years, now I'm going to 2008. I'm going back. You see the... So... the issue of historical heritage. Maybe it was not so important. Who knows? Maybe we would have found some coins, probably when they, in the range of 2 years, when they built these silos, they probably leveled the area, and because we still found this year a lot of ceramics, but probably we have lost something for sure. Okay, this was the largest tower in this area. Okay. So the second case is the area of the ancient farms. We are going nearby Fort Parallélogramme. We went on a trip. This is the, I think this is the photo of 1970s, not Baradez, the one that was given to me by Dali. Okay. So I use this one because it's very, very detailed, and it also specifically framed the area around Fort Parallélogramme in a time, not Baradez time, but some years later, so I can see the transformation. I am overlaying to the El Cantara 90s, 70s photos to Baradez overlays. You see different overlays. One of these was used by Paula in the previous presentation. And Fort Parallélogramme is here. We went to Fort Parallélogramme in 2018. We went back this year, and this time we decided to go to a trip to try to identify this area of ancient cultivations. And so I made, you see, we were interested in this area, also these farms, and also this oil production facility. The problem is that the oilery is now underwater. Okay. You see, this is the lake. So, waypoint exploration. We started from Fort Parallélogramme. I set a first waypoint here to avoid the area of water and also to intercept an area of ancient cultivation. The second waypoint here to the more defined and more visible area of ancient cultivation. And the final waypoint, I set this point precise here because it was on the track of the Roman road identified by Baradez and in the middle of these three constructions. So it seemed like the most promising point to go. Okay. So we went on a trip. This is was quite a long trip because I think we made by foot 2-3 kilometers back, forth and back. Okay. And you see, we reached this area at the end. So what we found? I want just to point out the persistence of the tracks. This is a photo of the most recent, one of the most recent satellite pictures. If I compare with the photo made in the 70s, you see that if you focus on this area, you see that ancient cultivation remain almost identical. And I use the traces of the ancient cultivation to georeference precisely these pictures. So what we found in the ancient cultivation, we found this area with the fine, very fine sand bordered with rocks, which is a technique for the cultivation. This from the satellite it appears as a very white area with a very geometrical shape. You can see it by here, but from the satellite it's quite clear. Okay, I think is one of these, probably this one. Okay, then we are in this point looking toward the factory, the farm area. We had to trespass some bodies of water going around the... And on the site, on the factory farm area, we found architectural elements, horizontal and vertical, traces of millstone or facility for the production of oil, I think. You see, this was in two pieces. This is a wheel, and also we find the famous inscription. This is it seems to have some importance because there are emperors in it, and it's very similar to the one that is present in the book of Baradez. The writing, the dimension, the shape of the letters. We still have to begin to study this one, but it seemed quite important. Probably this one was, we found that this inscription in this position probably was, I don't know, fortuitous finding, let's say. Okay. Was the final waypoint prediction good? Because we went here. This was our final destination. As you see, I wanted to go here, exactly here, and in this area we found the millstone, the inscription, an exposed section near the water. This was the final destination, was in here. We found digs made by people looking for material. Okay, and a lot of and then I am overlaying all our findings in the photos of the 70s in our more recent photos from the satellite. The water of the basin is going up and down during the use of the dam. This is the normal level, which was the one when we went there. This is the lowest I found in the history of Google Earth Story, so much is exposed. And this is the highest. So in the highest case, the inscription went underwater in some cases. So again, the issue of conservation of historical heritage. And then I finished, and one final note about the equipment we used. We had some issues about with the equipment and the airport, so we used all very fortuitous material like smartphones, tape measure, paper and pencil. So imagine what we can do when we have more equipment, like a total station with GPS, maybe a kite or a drone to assess the layout and morphology of the terrain. So this is what a very short introduction. We hope to be on site and fully equipped in March 2020. And thank you very much for your attention. See you.